In today's lesson, we're going to be looking at ideas for examples of abstract classes, and then we're going to dive into the basic premise of utilizing an abstract class and two possible subclasses and what that could look like in a more realistic, less abstract design. All right, so here's examples of what an abstract class could be and possible subclasses. So like a person could be an abstract class where they have, like just a name. And then you could have subclasses where it's a student, staff, or an account where you have, that's the abstract, and you have subclasses where you have the administrator account and user account. Or subclass, abstract class, that's the theoretical bank account, and then you have concrete checking accounts and savings account. Now, the example we're going to look into a little bit more in this video is the idea of an abstract of an order. And then you have two types of possible orders, an online order and an in-store order. Okay, so let's start looking at that. So these orders are going to involve an item object. Now, for this, I just made a class just so the classes that we're going to look at compiled. So I have this item class. It's theoretical item. We're not really worried about what an item is. It's just something that someone could purchase. All right, so the order abstract class. So it's going to be public abstract class order. Now remember, any class that has one or more abstract methods in it has to be abstract. And so this class that we're looking at has two abstract methods. Okay, so let's look at this. So we've got an array list of items that we're going to create a cart for it. You notice we don't have a constructor. We're not worried about that particular aspect right now. So we have this abstract method called add item, which would add the item to a cart. And you also have the total cost of the order. Now I have here a method. Now notice it has something new in here that we've never looked at before. It has public final. We've never seen the final word here in relationship to methods. We've always seen the word final in relationship to variables. And when you define a variable as final, once you initialize it can't be changed. Well, the idea is similar here for methods. Once you define a method as final, it can't be overwritten by subclasses. So an example for an order would be canceling your order. So for canceling the order, what you do is you set the cart to an empty array list. Boom, so it cancels everything in the current cart. Okay, so we have two possible subclasses of the order, an in-store order and an internet order. So the in-store order, again, I'm not worrying about constructors right now. So the in-store order extends order. In-store is not abstract because we're going to define all the abstract methods. It has two methods. So again, I would actually really define these, but again, I'm not stressed about that level of detail. We're just going through the idea of what it could look like. So here we do this add item, and we're going to add that item to the array list. Total cost, we'll factor in taxes, return the sum of all the items, and you return it. Now, so it would compile. I just put this return 0. And there we go. There's our in-store order. We of course could add additional behavior to how this class works, but we're just looking at the general idea of it. So let's look at the next one, internet order. All right, so internet order again extends order. It's not abstract. Your add item, you're going to add item to the cart, which is going to involve having to load a new page. You're probably going to display ads and so forth. So the way add item is working, it's just not purely adding the item to the cart. There's going to be other things that are going to happen. Same thing with total cost. So you're going to sum up all the items. So that's the same. Do you factor in taxes? Again, how taxes work for internet orders can be different. You also then, for internet orders, you got to factor in shipping. And so there's different, the behavior of this method is different. But since they're both orders, they both have these methods, add item and total cost. It's just the behavior of those methods are going to work a little bit differently. I either return 0 again just so it compiles and doesn't have an error. So there we go. There's our more the idea of looking at a more realistic solution of how we're going to do what we would use an abstract class for, and some subclasses and how they might work. All right. Thank you very much, and have a good